Now let us say you are doing an interview setup, okay, and you wish to interview a few users. You have the list of users defined already from your target audience, and now you want to take help of AI to plan out your interview. So we are going to have a AI driven interview workflow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first, okay, I have the problem statement. I'm going to make use of this prompt over here. I've already written this prompt. Okay, so here's my research problem. I'm stating my research problem over here. Okay, so this is my research problem here, and then I'm telling AI over here, like, act as a UX research consultant. Suggest me 3 to 5 interview goals that I should focus on to uncover the main reasons for the abandonment. Okay, now I'm doing this. I'm getting the research or interview goals over here first. Why am I doing this? Because I want to have a focused goal. Focus goal is basically going to prevent any sort of waste work over there. Okay, and it'll keep me focused. So let us give this as a prompt and let us see what it gives you. Okay, so here it is giving you 5 interview goals. Okay, and first it is telling you can see the goals over here. It's asking you to explore how user interpret delivery fees. Okay, whether they see them as justified. Okay, why, if it feels hidden or unfair, that alone can drive abandonment. So this is one goal over here, because delivery fees can be one of the driving factors. Okay, this is all from we have not given this as an input, but this is coming in. Identify which payment methods users expect. Okay, identify emotional triggers during checkout. Okay, and evaluate clarity and transparency of cost breakdown. Discover alternative behaviors after abandonment. Okay, so these are some of the goals basically that can help us uncover the friction points, any sort of expectations that we are not meeting, and any sort of drivers that are leading for a drop off. Now, once you do this, it's important that you generate interview questions based on these goals. So I have this prompt over here. I'm telling AI that based on these goals, generate 10 open-ended, unbiased interview questions to ask first-time Freshcart users. Why first-time Freshcart users? Because that is what my problem statement is, right? And I have to make sure that questions explore all the problem areas like delivery fees, payment trust, mobile checkout usability, and emotional reactions. And I'm asking it to be non-yes, no kind of questions, okay? Because I want to strike a conversation and I want to have open-ended conversation with the interviewer. Okay, so over here, this is the prompt and this is going to give me 10 open-ended questions. So if you want to modify the count, you can modify this based on your preference. And also, if you have modified these research goals and you have iterated over it, let's say you took this research goals and you modified it in a WordPad or Notepad locally on your system. What you can do is you can also mention those research goals over here and you can tell the AI that, hey, consider these research goals that have been modified by me as below. Don't consider the above one. That is something that you can do to make it much more explicit, and you can paste your research goals over there. So it will consider those ones and not these, the ones that are at the top. Okay, if you want to add any more details over here, you can happily do that. And I'll just do a send over here. Now, after doing the send, you can see over here, this is the response that I got. Okay, so I got a list of 10 open-ended questions over here. Okay, open-ended because I asked them to be open-ended. Okay, so if you're not happy with any of the questions, of course, you can reiterate on this. Okay, but AI, I feel, does a really good job of giving you some initial set of questions. You can see over here, it has categorized it into delivery fees, like all the areas that you wanted to explore with the user, right? And it has given you some things. So here it is not giving you yes no kind of questions. It is not giving you leading questions. Okay, all the best practices it has followed over here. So if you want to modify or if you want to reiterate on this, you can absolutely do that. But the output over here has been great. So you can take a look, payment trust options, checkout visibility and clarity. Okay, what is the experience like navigating through the checkout process on your phone? Okay, this is very to the point question. Can you walk me through? So this first question is very open-ended. Can you walk me through what went through your mind when you first saw the delivery fees during the checkout? Okay, so there are no leading questions, and then there is emotional reaction and decision triggers, and then there is post abandonment behavior as well. So after leaving the checkout, what happened? Okay, so yes, this is a great, I would say, great point or a great list of questions that we have got. If you want to modify this, of course, you can reiterate on this. You can give a follow-up prompt, or you can take these questions locally onto your system and modify them. Right now, once this is done, you can organize this into a conversational flow, and you can ask AI to do it only. Okay, because order matters. You can have some rapport, like some questions that build rapport with the user. Then you can discover some context and dive into the surface details and ask some concrete suggestions later on. Okay, so you can tell AI basically to reorder these interview questions into a natural flow, like you first warm up, discovery, deep dive, and then close on the improvements. So basically what you can do over here is you are asking the output as a structured interview guide. So, okay, so this will go in, and here you are getting 2 responses. Okay, so this is pretty common. You're going to see like multiple responses, and it is asking me to give feedback on the new version of ChatGPT. So this is okay. Don't get confused if you see this UI, but you can choose. You have the liberty to choose from these 2 responses over here. Okay, so both are looking very similar. I'll prefer this one. Okay, and you can see this one over here. It has basically categorized everything into warm up and all those sort of questions over here. Okay, now you have a conversational flow, and you can take this, you can modify it at your end. Okay, but what I also like to do is, once I have the final list of interview questions that I wish to take to my users, okay, I would want to have some sample answers, or I would want to simulate a interview with the help of AI. That is something I like to do. Okay, now this is something I do to get some sort of simulation as to what to expect from these questions. It's like a rehearsal, a fast rehearsal that you are doing, not from a actual user, but yes, from with the help of AI. So what I would do is I would add this prompt over here: role play as a fresh cart first time user who abandoned checkout because of delivery and fees payment. Answer each interview question realistically using personal failings, decision steps, and frustrations. Be detailed as if you are a real user giving the feedback. Okay. Now this is a simulation that we are doing with the AI. It's important that after every interview, based on the learnings from the interview, you rephrase or rework on the questions. So if you feel like this question did not help me get a better answer after the interview, you can rephrase this. This was the old way of doing things, right? You can still do it today. Okay. But with the help of AI, you can actually run a simulation. You can see over here. What I used to do is, before AI, I used to have a set of questions, and then I used to go to the user. After the first interview, I would take a look at the answer and the output, and I would reiterate or rework on the questions. Hey, this question was not good, or this question did not help get the answer. Okay, but here you can do a manual review of, or manual role play, I should say, of the all the interview questions, and you can see over here, I'm getting the responses. Okay, you can see over here. These are actual responses that you get from the users. Okay, you can see. So this is just a simulation that you can do. This gives you some insights into what to expect over here. That is what I can tell you over here. Okay, so here it is also concluding the output over here, which is fine. But what you can also do is you can go a step further, and you can generate these responses for multiple personas. For example, I can give this prompt over here, and I can say, now generate 3 different realistic user personas, like budget conscious student, busy parent, and cautious first time online shopper. For each persona, role play the interview responses to the same set of questions. Okay, so here I'm having so initially I had like the simulation from one kind of user, like one persona, and then I'm asking AI to simulate this with multiple personas, and it has created persona 1, persona 2, persona 3 for me. You can see, and it's giving me the output over here. Okay, if you feel like the answers from a particular persona is not as detailed as it's supposed to be, so you can copy that persona and you can say, hey, this one is not detailed in answers. Can you make it detailed? Okay, so you can get this done. Okay, and you can ask it to be a bit more detailed. Okay, so you can see over here, this is the first cut of the responses that you have got. And if you go down here, it is also generating a detailed responses for our offer basically, which is something that you asked him to do. Okay, So yes, so this is how you can make use of AI to get some smart interview setups done at your end, and not only just setups, you can simulate this at your end and you can get some feedback.